Hey, welcome back, everybody. And this is Ethan Strockman with ADHD Woodshop. Thanks for coming back. Glad to see you. I hope we can have a great journey about everything that's going on here. So, our first project that we're going to go over in this video, or this probably going to be a video series about creating this project and getting from point A to point Z. But this is going to be about where we are right now with it and where we plan on going with it. The idea in mind and what it's for, who is it for, and going from there. So right now I'm currently working on a custom guitar for my friend Josh that I'm in a band with. And we're doing a little bit of a trade. I'm building this guitar for him, and he's going to do a tattoo for me. So, gotta love it. Right now, we have the headstock already cut out and kind of shaped. We have the truss rod put in, though I think I might need to shim it down just a little bit because of the way that the fretboard sits on there. Just kind of, I got this little bit of a overhang here, and from other things that I've seen, that needs to be pushed down just a little bit. But for the headstock, we're using ambrosia maple, and it's beautiful, especially this back figuring. Hopefully you can see it. Definitely is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. A lot of fun to work with, nice, fun to cut out. And see where we go with that. Definitely need to do a little bit more, or a lot more, of the detail and the work to go ahead and shape it correctly and everything like that. And then we also have the fretboard, which I am currently using zebra wood for. I have it cut out and shaped to fit the headstock, but I still need to put the fret wire and everything like that in, so we will get working on that as well. I do have a couple spare pieces of zebra wood, just in case I screw this one up, because, hey, what's a little mistake here and there, right? And behind the camera, which I will turn around here shortly and show you, I have a nice big slab of live edge walnut that we're going to use for the body with a epoxy pour as well into it. And asked Josh, hey, what kind of color do you want in this epoxy tape or epoxy body for it, or epoxy and geez, the ADHD's going, man, I'm telling you. But what color epoxy he wants to use for it, and he chose a couple different ones here. He chose this blood red, which I will come around and show you a little bit better. This blood red color here, which is very, very pretty. And we're going to mix some black in with it as well, and give it kind of a swirl pattern. It's going to look great. So we'll see where we go with that. And hopefully here in Pittsburgh it gets a little bit warmer so we can do the epoxy pour sooner rather than later. But today we're going to go ahead and finish sanding some of the live edge piece, and start getting a form built for the epoxy pour. So we're gonna cut the piece to little oversized, and he didn't like the template that I have for the guitar body. So after it's poured and everything, we're gonna take it to him, and he's gonna draw out the shape that he would want for the guitar. So let's get started. Montage of some sanding, and we're gonna do the form for it and everything as well, get that all set nice and ready to go. and we'll go from there. All right, guys. Be back in a minute. All right, guys. So this is the piece of walnut live edge slab that we're going to be doing Josh's guitar body out of. And what you can see here, this nice big void and everything, this nice edge on both sides here. We're probably going to be taking about this much of it and creating that guitar body out of it. This side still needs to be sanded down. The other side has been flattened and sanded already. So this is going to be nice filled in with that blood red colored epoxy and some of the black to get it to, pop a little bit. The edges will be that red and everything as well. And then we'll take it to him. He'll trace out the shape that he wants for it and go from there. But let's get some sanding going and get this thing nice and super flat. You can see some of the raised bits from the flattening. So we just want to knock those down a little bit and get some of my pencil marks out of there. Pencil marks there are just so I know, hey, we need to sand a little bit more to get this out and everything. But it is a beautiful little piece, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. Okay there, guys. So let's get on sanding here. We're going to start off with an 80 grit to knock off some of this overstanding little bits from the surfacing bit there and get it nice and smooth and flat. And since we are in a garage and it is kind of chilly out there still, yeah, it's warming up here in PA. We are around 50 degrees or something like that outside, but it's still quite a bit cold. Always remember, wear your mask. You don't need all that sawdust and little bits of dust and everything like that in your lungs. So go ahead, let's mask her up and get to sanding. Okay, so we just hit her with some, what did I say? 80? Yeah, I think this is 80 grit. Oh, that was 60 grit. Okay, so we just knocked down some of those high points from the flattening and milling process with some 60 grit, just to knock it down a little bit, get it a little smoother. So now we will move up to the 80 grit and keep going from there. And I do know that this is in the way. I have three-way electrical socket hanging here from the ceiling. Just one of these guys. So I'm gonna see if I can get that moved out of the way a little bit, and we'll continue on. Just makes it a little bit easier to get some stuff moved around. It's a little bit better. Let's see if we can zoom you in here too. So you can see some of that beautiful figuring on that wood. Here we go. Like this nice dark area right here. That's beautiful. But yeah, let's continue on with that 80 grit, moving on from the 60 just to get her a little bit more flattened. There's a couple little itty bitty little raised areas, and you probably can't see it from your angle, but there are a couple still little lines and everything like that in here that can get knocked out, and just this beautiful little figuring right here is pretty awesome. So we'll get that done, and then we'll do a quick once over and just get on from there. All right. So now we're nice and sanded. Knocked down a lot of that extra bits that were hanging us up there. So let's zoom her back out, and let's take you on a little tour of how this thing actually looks, because she is kind of pretty. So got here, nice little hole, little knot and everything like that had to be taken out and everything like that. Now the epoxy that I'm using is from Stone Coat Countertops, and they have a penetrating epoxy where I can actually go ahead and I've cleaned this up a little bit, at least a good little bit. I'm probably going to hit it with some hand sanding just to knock down some of those edges. But we can use that penetrating epoxy over top of any kind of debris or bits and pieces inside of there. And it'll penetrate through and let the regular epoxy pour sit in there very nicely. So kudos to Stone Coat. Shout out to them. And their stuff is amazing. But this is looking like it's going to be an amazing little piece here. And I can't wait to get that poured and see how it turns out. But let's get you back in your little pod here. All right. So, now that we got that taken care of, what's next? Well, let's try to measure out the size that we're going to need for the guitar body and get that oh, excuse me, and get that at least cut out so that we know how big to make our form. Get that out of the way. See, you want to try to clean up as you go. That way you're not making too big of a mess. But, hey, what can you do, right? You make a mess, you make a mess. All right, so we want this guy. Oh, let's see here. How big do we want her? It's a good thing I have reference. So let me go check that reference, and I will be right back. Okay. So like I said, got to go check my reference material there. And my reference is telling me, especially since we want to make this a little bit on the bigger side, let's move you over a little bit so you don't have that cable in the way the whole time. So my reference material, we want to make this at least 19 long. So we're probably going to go 20 inches. Let's grab our pencil. Hey, let's go 20 inches. So I hit 20 here. Dude. Hit 20 again. Right here. Let's find a straight edge. And connect those two. Whoop. Hitting the ace or the vents, the ducts, whatever. So here's my straight edge. We want 20 inches. Let me just double check that. Make sure that's what we want. Pretty sure that's what we want. my reference template. Just to be safe, we want to sit kind of in the middle of that. See, we might, depending on how things go, like I really want this piece in there. That would look so nice. But that gives us some room to kind of play a little bit with the design. And I think yeah, something like that, maybe. Something like over here. Kind of deal. I don't know. We'll see what he comes up with whenever he draws it out after the pour and everything. Who knows? But I think this is going to look amazing in there. But that 20 inches will give us some room to play with. And then this at its widest point is about 13 3/4. So we'll probably be much over that. Where are we at here? Yeah, we're about 17 or so. So that should get us where we need to be. So let's unscrew her, flip her over, measure 20 again. And, you know what? We might go more than 20. Nah, we'll do 20. I don't know. That knot's gonna look freaking amazing. So we'll unscrew her, we'll flip her over, mark her out again, give her a cut, and then start making her form. All right, let's get her unscrewed and flipped. Apparently, I already have work on the other side, but that seems freaking huge. What is that, 30? 28. That seems massive. Why are we so big? Yeah, you can see here that nice big knot, cavity, void, whatever on this side. And it's going to look pretty cool later on. That's so I can... Seems like a lot of flavor. Wow. I don't like that. So that mark is going to go away. What did I say on the side? 20? Was that 20? I don't remember. Yeah, that's 20. So yeah, we're going to... Woo! Don't lose your fingers. Okay, so we're going to go 20 inches instead of, what's it, 28? Just about. Okay, 20 inches instead. So 20 there. Oh. 20 there. Grab my straight edge. Not a lot of room to work in a garage shop. Everything's kind of tight and compact. $20 inches. Here we go. You can tell this side's nice and dark, a lot darker than the other side. And this is going to end up being the back of the body, and it's going to look pretty awesome with how dark this center bit is and the sapwood on the outside. This is going to look amazing. And nice flat that side now too. And move that out of the way. And so we're not using that line. So 20. And that fits. Nicely inside of here. No matter which way we do it. We'll get her to work. We'll get her to work. She'll look beautiful. She'll look very, very pretty later. But, okay. So we can move this out of the way. Okay. And let's grab a sacrificial piece to put underneath of it. Oh. Do we got a sacrificial piece of wood somewhere? Yeah, we got this piece of MDF we can use. Work. Let's move this away. This cable is just all in the way. There. Anything I can do about it? How about that? There, now it's out of the way. Okay. And what I mean by sacrificial piece is I can take this, set it up, oh, come on. There we go. Set it up kind of like that. Grab my track saw. So then whenever I grab my track saw and go across this, I'm not going into the bottom table bit, I'm going into this. So then I'm not screwing up my regular table. How am I doing that when I still need to go get my saw? Oh, saw, where are you? There we go. There's the saw. And you probably hear in the background I got laundry going too. Because, you know, laundry is angry. I guess I overloaded the washer. Whoops. Okay. So let's get our depth going. You can make sure we got all right depth. And we can go a little bit lower. Come on. Come on. I want you to do what I want you to. Because that's a bevel. Wire it. Yep. Because I was looking at the wrong one, dumbass. There we go. Let's get that lined up. That looks good to me. That's Yep. Nothing to do it, but nothing to it but to do it. So let's go. And, oh, did we not hit something? Uh-oh. We got a little bit of it. And there goes the chisel. We got a small hang-up going on there. She don't want to come apart. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it might just need to go grab the handsaw. Okay. Yep, she didn't go all the way through. Well, dang. Almost got there. So let's go grab the handsaw and get that cut. and go on from there. Da-da-da-da. Hands off. Thanks again. And now we bust through. So here's our guitar body piece. That's gonna look gorgeous. Just think about that. That is the guitar body. I mean, this part, maybe down this way. And then we can use that. We might be able to knock that cavity out after we pour it a little bit. And use that to where our electronics go. I don't know, but that's gonna look gorgeous. And this guy, oh, that cross pattern looks pretty neat. This guy can get moved off to the side now. And this could be used for something else later. Maybe a nice big shelf. Oh, and in my intro video, I mentioned the radial arm saw that I need to fix. It's our guy there. I need to run the electrical and everything for it. She's a little old. Need a 220 line. So we'll see about getting a 220 in here and see what we can do with it. But that's a project for a different day. Okay, so we got our nice big piece here. And this can get moved. Yes, to get some of this wiped up. Hey, clean as you go, guys, because then at the very end, where everything's a mess, you go, I don't want to clean that. I'm too tired to clean that crap up. And then it just sits there and sits there and sits there, and who knows? Like, I do have all kinds of piles of sawdust laying all over the floor that I do need to clean up at some point. But I got this nice big table in the way and a small shop. So it'll get there whenever I can open the garage door without freezing my butt off. Okay. So we got that. Now I do have a couple pieces from a previous build that we can probably utilize. They're already wrapped in Tyvek so that they release the mold better. So I could take this, for instance. And how are you gonna fit in there? You gonna fit nicely? Yeah, you fit nicely. Just like that. Then I got a couple pieces. Come here, dog. Oh, ow, fingers. Okay. Couple pieces here that we can use. Take some of this caulking off. Sure. We can reuse you. Just like that. Nice. Like that. I might need to rewrap some of this. I got some splits there. That. Which way you go? You go this way. Just like that. Just like that. So to give you guys a little bit of a warning here, when I turn this guy on, the lights are gonna dim because I also need to run new cable or new electrical for tools only to my brick panel. Since all the outlets in the garage seem to also run to multiple things upstairs. So there's that. And let's get her cut, shall we? I do want to thank you guys for tuning in and just watching me bullshit and get things going in the shop. Doing a little bit of sanding, doing a little bit of form construction and things like that for this guitar build. So I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm gonna record a little bit more tomorrow with the putting the penetrate epoxy on there and letting that dry. And things go well. We start that early in the morning. It takes about 7-8 hours for that thing to dry. Then we might be able to actually, mix and pour that epoxy tomorrow. Again, also depending on weather, it gets a little cold in here whenever I don't have the heater running. So, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. It's just a bunch of rambling and stuff like that. But we'll get the hang of things. All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Like, share, subscribe, whatever. Do the things. That's fine. Even if you don't, it is what it is. But catch you in the next part. Thanks. See ya.